Howdy all Lex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright. So... I think we left off exploring this place, right? Obviously I didn't even kill the zombies. Yeah, so we're exploring this place. We can talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Sounds good. So we played Dungeons and Dragons. This is the one where the other guy DMs, not the one where I DM. And yeah, it was so I'm not sure why we even try to talk to NPCs. So we had gotten this book, and it was trash. There was barely anything in it, and but we had been given a quest by this dude, Snowflake Potter, I think that our DM was calling him, and I don't know what plans he had for that guy, because he doesn't role play us a point or give us clues as to what he's looking for. So I'm not sure what the point of that kid was at all. I didn't want those boots. We started to dang it. You know what? I don't need glass. We started oh, those are my boots. Why are my boots? That's not what I want to do. There we go. We started to like, he told me there was going to be this big story for this floor that he was improvising about what was going on the floor, right? He told me this. We didn't get a story. We got not what the book says to do, combined with how many big fights he could throw us into because we don't die, and he believes we should all be dead. And we're not. And so and we play along, right, with what he does give us, because that's how the game's supposed to work. And so instead of killing off the guards at the exit to the floor, which we easily could do, man, that was a terrible, terrible room. I got no... Oh, I got no... That's not what I want to do either. Oh, shoot. Somebody came in without making a sound and punched me while I was doing that. Basically, if I can pull my thoughts together, we entered the floor having killed their guard. He said that the dude wanted us to join the wizard school. None of us are wizards. And we're like, how can we do that? None of us are wizards. And he's like, well, I can smell that some of you have magical aptitude. And then he's like, so we'll make this deal. You can go anywhere you want on the floor. You can go anywhere you want on the floor. And if you want to join if you want to join the school, then you can talk to these specific people. And, I should have put some of this junk in my bike. And so, um, and we're like, well, we'd really like to just, get to the next floor. And he's like, well, if you want to go to the next floor, then there's a task I need you to perform, or you can give me magic items. I'm like, okay, what's the task? Because we don't really have a lot of magic items. And I don't really have a lot of magic items I want to give up. I honestly, if he forced us to give up a magic item, there is a magic item that he made up to give us that I totally would give up because I'd never use it and don't even really have it equipped. Because it just didn't work for my character, and I don't think any of us use it. Um, so at least 3 of us could have just given up. Given up the badge we got in the previous, hey guy, previous level 1 to 5 campaign. But yeah, so we go back to that guy, and there's a woman. At least he described her as a woman at first, but then I wonder if she wasn't a child. I don't understand what was supposed to be going on in this place. It didn't really do anything. I mean, we only talked to like 4 or 5 people, right? And so, birds or dogs? I'm not too worried about zombies. Oh, shoot, there's a dog. Get back, dog. All right. Take it back. I'm worried about the zombies. So we talked to the headmaster, and he's the one that told us he wanted us to join, and we should look around and go wherever we wanted and meet the different people. Right? Now, the key to this is go wherever you want. So one of the things we did was we went into this room because the second person we talked to was this kid who was like, I can tell you how to get out of here. And we're like, we just want to know where the Bone Devil is because we're supposed to kill the Bone Devil. And he was like, I will tell you where the Bone Devil is if you bring me a book. And if you bring me the book, I'll also, I don't remember if it was tell us or help us get out. I don't know what the barrel extender mod does. Ooh, nice bullets. I definitely could use those. Leather leg armor. Scrap armor. What are these? Steel club parts. I didn't even know that was a thing. And, so we got his book. On the way to his book, though, we talked to this other guy, and he was like, you will help me kill that kid. And we're like, okay, we could probably help you kill that kid, but we're already obligated to kill this Bone Devil. So we're going to go kill the Bone Devil, and then we can come back and help you kill the kid. We didn't care. What difference does it make to us? We've not been invested in a quest or a storyline that matters. And I mean, everybody on this floor is an evil wizard, right? Honestly, we should have just butchered the entire floor. I try not to be a murder hobo, though, which is what it's called if you just murder everybody you come across. We try not to do that. We try very hard not to do that, but our DM is not accommodating by giving us chances to talk our way out of things. We try, but they always attack us. They always attack us. What does this do? Increases damage, range, and aim accuracy, but makes the weapon more unwieldy when fired from the hip. I'm going to equip it and see what it does. You know what? I want to keep that coffee. Okay, so I want to... Oh, I can't. You're only a level 2, and you've already got the scope on you. Never mind. I would have... Whoops. I don't have any room to put that in there anyways. So yeah. So that guy refused to let us go and kill the Bone Devil. He had to kill the kid now. Didn't tell us why. Nobody has hinted that there's a war going on between these wizards or anything like that. We have no idea why he wants to kill this kid. Not one reason. And we're just like, look, man, we don't have a problem with helping you out. We just can't do it right this second. We already have a job to do, and that's to kill this Bone Devil. So we'd like to get the Bone Devil out of the way first. No reasoning why he couldn't wait. None of that. Just do it now, or I will kill you. And we're like, well, you can try. And so he died. And then we go a little bit further, and we run into this undead thing that was floating in the air, and it demanded that we stay and listen to a lecture. And we're like, but none of us can cast spells like that. It's like, it doesn't matter. You either listen to my lecture or I will kill you. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on with this place. Like, we can't use the magic. Why do they want us to listen to them talk about the magic? Like, I get why the DM wants us to listen to the magic lectures, because he likes for us to sit there and listen to him talk. Alright, I forgot. This place is mined up. So I've now driven around most of this place and did not... What's up with that place in the bottom right-hand corner, though? I'm going to go explore that. But I did not find a lot of places with boxes that would be useful to me. I think this tower here to our left might have some, but I hate fighting my way up that tower, so I might come back and just pillar up. But I definitely don't want to fight my way through it. It's too much of a hassle. Yeah, so we aren't given a reason for everything wanting to kill us, just they want to kill us. And so then we get to, this is all leading up to our session this week. So then we escape from him, and then we run into this woman, and she's like, what are you doing here? And we're like, the headmaster sent us to kill this Bone Devil. And she's like, well, I don't know where it's at. And we're like, okay, well, he told us it was in the southwest corner of the place, so that's where we're headed. And so she goes on her way, and oh, it was a hospital, right? All right. And they're like, okay. And so then we go a little further, and then we run into these people in cages, and they're like, you let us out or we'll kill you. And we're like, you're in a cell. Like, what are you gonna do to us from inside a cell? And so we went on our way from that. And then what's even crazier is there's a dude in those cells that clearly could have been a quest hook. He's a halfling. He looks like he's from the city above. But we get nothing from the DM. He's just like, oh, he moans a little bit. He can't even... He's so weak he can't even greet you. But you recognize his style of clothing as being from the city above. So the rest of the party decided they didn't want to rescue him. I'm like, whatever. You know, I don't. We're not heroes in this story, so I don't care one way or another. There's no reason for us to be here. We're not fame seekers. We already have a ton of money. There's no quest. We're only doing it because this is the book the DM picked, and that's it. That's it. I don't know if 40 of these is enough to get to the top of this thing. I'm gonna plop this down though, just in case. Oh, and I'm gonna kill this guy. Guess I'll have to kill a couple of these guys. Woo. Bad aim. And so we go past him, and we find, wow, I can't do it, man. We find the Bone Devil, and it tries to make a deal with us, and we don't, because who makes a deal with devils? That's just a bad idea. And so we kill him, and then the kid wanted us to get a book from the headmaster's office, or his secret study, or something. And so we kept going, and we found the way out, and there were devils there, or demons there, or something, and they're like, if you try to go past us, we'll kill you. And we're like, oh yeah, not shocked. Everything else wants us dead. And so then we fight our way into the study, and we get the book. And so we examine the book, and the book is useless. Like, useless. There's no good reason to have this book. It is literally a low-level spell book with some low-level spells in it. So much so that when we brought it back to the person, their response was, I hate vultures. That wasn't their response. That was my response, but I hate vultures. Hate them. Was, pages are missing. Did you tear pages out of this book? And we're like, yeah, no. We absolutely did not tear pages out of this book. It was that useless. So glad that we had to fight so hard to get this book. And so that was where we picked up, was after we got in the book. We take the book back to the kid. We give it to the kid. The kid is like, this is a dumb book. And we're like, hey, yeah, but, you know. And they're like, so you said you were going to take us out of here? And then the DM's like, no, he said he would tell you where the exit is. I'm like, fine. But he'll give you one secret about the dungeon. Okay. There's actually a whole book of secrets, or a whole section of secrets in the book that we've never used. Yep. I can tell, because there's no reason for us to be here. And well, that looks like a landmine. It didn't light up when I moved my cursor over it to let me disarm it or anything, so I thought it wasn't really there. And then it went tick boom. Well, that wasn't a good idea. I was kind of hoping I could catch most of them on their way down, but that is apparently not part of the code. Get some of my wood back here. I need 100 new frames. So, yeah, I don't know what the point of the kid was because he didn't do anything after that. And I don't know. So then we headed over to the headmaster's office. He did tell us where the headmaster's office was, I guess, because we didn't really get that information. And so we headed toward that way. And so on our way there, we ran into a woman or a girl. I'm not sure. The description was weird, and I'm not sure if it was an adult or a child. But she was apparently in detention, sitting there reading her spell book. And so then we talked to the headmaster, and we told him we had accomplished what he'd asked us to do, and that we wanted to exit the floor. And so he took us to the exit, and then when the exit appeared, or when the demons appeared, he was like, I know you guys entered my secret chamber and took something. What did you take? Or no, that's not what he said. He said, I know that someone was in my secret chamber. Was it you? And so I was like, well, we did see some people coming from this direction. And so I rolled, I don't know what I rolled, like a 15 or something. It wasn't a great roll. I don't think the DM rolled at all or anything. He just immediately said that I know it was you, and even though I said you could, and this is what he said, even though I said you could go anywhere, I didn't think that that would include my secret chamber. Okay, but if we could go anywhere, why? And yeah, so then he demanded that we pay him, or else he was going to kill us. And we're like, yeah, no. He's like, you don't understand how powerful I am. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'm not going to give up my magic items. It's not happening. I only have my armor and my weapon. Neither of those things can go away in a game where I am a fighter. I don't know what to tell you. It's not happening. And so we fought him. And that got us to the DM trying to change the rules of the game. He does stuff all the time as the DM to us. And so then when we try to use the same rules back, he always says, well, that's not how the rules work. And we're like, ooh, look, turret. Apparently I didn't have an anvil schematic. I'll take the diamond. I should look into fixing my... But I can't do that yet. Iron chest armor. I think I've got better than that. Well, I found a working stiff boxes, but they did not have the crucible I was looking for. So, there is a box there. You know why I don't have any ammo? Because I'm a terrible shot. You know why I'm dead? Because I don't have any ammo. That's okay. I'm going to go back home and make some at this point. Again. Yeah, so we had to fight and kill that guy. And what happened was... So the rules of the game are that if you cast a spell using a bonus action, then you may only cast as your main action a cantrip. That's the rules. If you cast a spell, the idea is that unless you are somehow sped up that you get more than one action during your turn, then you're not fast enough to cast multiple spells. But a bonus action is usually something quick and is very specific to it's a specific ability. Their bonus actions aren't just something you can do willy-nilly. They require you to have the ability to bonus action. So not everybody has access to bonus. For example, if you have a dagger in each hand, you may attack with the dagger in your main hand and then make an attack as a bonus action with your offhand. But you have to make that attack first with your main hand. And there's more rules to it than that. Like it has to be a light weapon, which is what a dagger is. It has to be one-handed. There's some other things you can use to change the ruling on that, but for the most part, that's the way it works, right? So it's either a spell that's got a bonus action, or it's something with weapons that lets you do a bonus action. And so the idea is that with a cantrip is that you know it so well that you can just cast it at will. Like there's no real build up to using this spell. So it's difficult to hold two spells in your head at the same time. Therefore, you can cast one spell that you know so well as a cantrip, and a bonus action spell, or you just cast one regular big spell, right? That's the rules. That's how the game is supposed to work. So, we watch a D&D group who play that's pretty popular, and in one of their previous games, they played with a homebrew rule that you could cast a regular spell and then or you could cast a bonus action spell and then you could cast a regular spell, but it had to be below level 1 or 2. And so it was basically increased what you could do. And the reason being was that there were so many people playing in this group that it was nice to let people do more than one thing on their turn. And so we played with that rule for a while. I don't like it personally because the game is designed around so much happening per turn. And so the power of a spell is far greater usually than the power of a weapon attack. And so if you play a caster, your spell does what multiple weapon attacks would do. And so it's it's supposed to balance out. So yes, a fighter takes 3 attacks in his turn. Uh, but the attacks only add up to about the same as one spell. I mean, they don't add up to one spell because their spell is more powerful than those 3 attacks that a fighter would make. Um, but that's the idea, is it's to limit the power of a caster. So our DM exclusively in the time that I have played D&D with him, exclusively plays... Nope. You know what? He does play a thief right now. But before this campaign, my campaign that I'm running, where he's playing the thief, I've never seen him play anything other than a caster. And so we played a game where the casters could cast any spell they wanted as a bonus action, and then as their main action, they could cast up to level 2. Now I'm getting to the point. This still is about what happened last night. So this campaign, he changed the rules. He decided that you could cast any spell you wanted with a bonus action spell. And he's used it multiple times, because what happened was we went to fight a bad guy, and the bad guy used his bonus action to get away and then turned himself invisible. And I was like, whoa, that is too high of a level of spell. And he's like, yeah, we're not doing it this time. You can bonus action and then cast whatever spell you want. And we're like, oh, okay. So I have a caster in this campaign, and I have been regularly doing that. I've been regularly casting 2 spells in the same turn. Not because I like it, but because I am trying to show him, since he won't listen to reason, why it's overpowered. And so last night we get in there, and I've got this awesome spell. I've talked about it before. I love it. It's my favorite. It's called Steel Wind Strike. And so I opened up with Steel Wind Strike because I got first on the initiative. And so in the fight, I cast that. And so what Steel Wind Strike does is it lets you choose 5 targets within range and hit them all pretty hard. 6d10, which is way more than what my fighter can do. And so 6d10 worth of damage. If it hits, it has to hit. And so I missed the main bad guy, but I hit the other bad guys. In fact, I hit the one bad guy for 90 damage, which is crazy. All right, I wanted to see what I was wearing for my chest. Armor rating of 8. So this is a little better. Oh, but you know what? It's also junky level 1. I should make new chest armor. Oh, but I'm still... No, am I unlocked from that? I can't make that. I'm still locked out. I need to know heavy armor, apparently. So, then I've got this other spell that's a bonus action spell. It's not great. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's a bonus action spell. And if it works right, then the bad guys can't do anything on their turn one time. It's really not that powerful of a spell. And in fact, it's not even in the game anymore. It was a temporary test of a spell, and they have since changed it or removed it completely. And so it's not even in the game anymore. But you don't change out what you started with, and so I'm still running with those abilities because they were chosen a long time ago, and our DM said just keep the abilities you got, don't change them out. And although he does keep saying I ought to change, I ought to make you get rid of those spells because they're not in the game anymore. I'm like, I can, but you know, I'd also prefer if we played by the actual game rules. And he's like, well, I mean, I guess since you already got them, and so yeah, uh, so I decide I'm gonna cast this spell. Only I'm gonna upcast this spell, which means you use a higher level ability or a higher level spell slot for it. Because what I want to do is I want to hit more than one creature with it, and so if I cast it big enough, in this case, if I cast it at like 5th level, then it will hit all 5 of the guys. It might have been 6th level I had to cast it at. It's a level 2 spell, and then for every spell level, it'll hit. No, it's 5th level. Yeah, I cast it at 5th level, so I could hit all 4 of the guys. There were 4 guys, and then he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm casting this spell." And he's like, "Well, you can't cast a spell. Uh, you can't cast that spell like that." I'm like, "We always have before." And he's like, "No, we have a rule that you cast a bonus action spell and then you can only cast a 1st level spell." I'm like, "No, that was the rule 2 campaigns ago. This campaign and the previous campaign, you said that wasn't the rule because you had a bunch of caster bad guys and you wanted to cast multiple spells in the same turn." Whoa. Dang it. Get out of my base. I've really got to fix that. And so yeah, so he decided it was okay. I only used it that one time. It didn't even really. Who knows if it worked? That's the other problem, is that he only rolls behind the screen, because I might need to fudge the rolls so that you guys don't die, is what he says. The reason is because he cheats, and we know it. And so he we can't see any of his rolls, and so I really can't believe that he isn't cheating because he almost always succeeds on saving throws for bad guys, and he almost always hits, unless it's a small creature that it doesn't matter. Anytime we're in a big fight, big guys always hit above our armor class. They never seem to miss. And so he does not roll so that we can see what's going on, and I hate it. I hate not knowing what the numbers are. And he doesn't care. We've talked to him about it. He doesn't care. And so aloe vera goes in the other box. Right, it's yucca juice. Yeah. And so, yeah. So anyways, so we fought those guys, and then we went down to the next floor, and we fought some really low-level guys, oddly enough. And yeah, so we got through. You know, does this have... Now that I'm back here, I picked up that thing. Let's look at one more thing before I call it for the night here. But so we have made it to the next floor. We're about 9,000 XP from our next level, depending on what we come across, because the first guys we fought on this floor were ooh, look at all those bullets. Supremely lower level than we are, which is disappointing. Mods. So I have a recipe for... What does that do? Huh. I apparently need to make some mods for my tools. Interesting. What do I need for that? Forged iron, glue, mechanical parts, springs. And then the other one was bunker buster, right? Oh, that takes steel, glue, mechanical parts, and springs. 15% against stone. I mean, that'd be super helpful. I think there's also like a grip that reduces uh, melee stamina usage. Do you think that is... I saw Iron Breaker mod. Um, all right, now we're getting down to the ones I can't do. Oh, here's the Diamond Blade Tip. Art of Mining Volume 2. Gotta find that. Oh, that's unlocked. No. No, I gotta unlock that. Right. Otherwise it would show me the recipe. Right, right. So I could... I think this only holds one. Yeah. But can I make... like I could make some new tools. It's only level 2 though. What recipe? What ability upgrade do I need to get better? Oh man. I should totally buy the motorcycle. One of these has got to be the thing, though, right? To upgrade my tools. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I need a minor 69er upgrade so I can add 2 things on that. So yeah, that's something I might have to check out. I might need to make some mods and, yeah, be interesting. Anyways, so yeah, we'll see how our D&D game goes, but it was not as frustrating as it is sometimes, but the dude can't even remember what rules he's using half the time. It drives me crazy. Definitely annoying when you go to do something and then he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not how this game works. Yeah, it is. That is how the game works. We're supposed to be able to attempt anything within the rules that we can do. You're the one that changed the rules. I would much rather play with the actual spellcasting rules. Because I don't feel it's fair to non-caster classes for casters to just cast willy-nilly 2 big spells like I've been doing since we started this campaign back at level 1, and now we're level 11, and we've been using the same rules the whole way through. And your casters, your monster casters, have been doing it. So I don't understand why, when I suddenly go to do something, like I described what I was doing and everything up to that point that I went to cast it, and the one of the guys playing is like, yeah, every time we try to do something cool, suddenly it's against the rules. And I'm like, I know. I know. All right, with that, be better than the small things, lean to the light, and I will talk to you later.